Hey, Tom, it's a pleasure to have you here on the Simplifying Entrepreneurship Podcast today.
I am so happy to be here, and I'm in the sun and you're not.
That's yeah, so true. It's like we've had some warmer weather here in the Toronto area the last few days. It's melted a lot, but as we were
Ooh.
just hopping on, I was saying, yeah, it's snowing like crazy out there today. I
You
just
can
got
have
came in from shoveling before we hopped on the call.
you can have my share, buddy.
Well, I'm excited to chat some business here today and excited to learn some stuff from you. And I'm sure our entrepreneurs and other business owners here that are listening today are as well. And, let's dig right into it, Tom, with one of the things that we were going to chat about today were some of the tools that you used to have used to handle up to 150,000 subscribers and 65,000 customers without pulling your hair out. And as anybody who's
You
watching
see?
this can see, I've already pulled mine out. So
See,
I've
you
probably
need these things that I'm going to talk about
yeah, man.
today.
Let's dig into that a little bit.
Well, there's nothing earth-shattering here. These are
Mm,
all simple, inexpensive, or free things that are some of them right on your computer already. So one of the things that gets me is people pay a lot of money to talk to me, and then
yeah.
I'm sitting there 20 minutes later, they can't find the password
Mm,
to get in to show me what they wanted to show me.
yeah.
This is not acceptable. It's not acceptable to have it in a file on your computer that somebody's going to grab and
Yeah.
hack you. So we use RoboForm, and there's another one, One Password. So those are
Yeah.
tools that we use all the time. So
Yeah.
I can hit one button, it'll go to whatever website I want, log in for me with one click.
I
So
use
that's one thing.
Dashlane, which is another one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Dashlane
yeah.
is, we've used Dashlane with our teams for years, and it's just having one of these automations is just such a game changer.
Exactly. It just see that my whole thing is people. There's only so much psychic energy in a day, and I don't
Mm,
want you fighting with your computer and looking and wasting time. I want you spending the time creating products and services and handling prospects and customers and all the stuff that brings the money in. So
for sure.
now the next thing is you are literally crazy if you don't use this. Okay, and it is called short keys. Now, this is for the PC. For the Mac, there's something called Keyboard Maestro.
Mhm.
And we actually estimated it a few years ago that it has saved me approximately 7.5 million keystrokes,
Oh my
saved
gosh.
me carpal tunnel syndrome. All right. And all it is a macro program. What it is a couple keystrokes, and I could type in war and peace if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So, my rule of thumb is if I get the question, and I've been teaching online digital stuff for 25 years now, been selling for 28 online,
Yeah.
I'm going to get the same questions over and over again. So,
Yep.
if I get a question more than once, I make the answer into a short key. And that way I can lightning fast handle response to people and inquiries from prospects. And they think, God, this guy is all over it. Well, the stuff was there. And even if you had to go find it and cut and paste it and remember where you put it, it's just a time waster. So 7.5 million keystrokes, and allowed me to literally, Pete, ethically steal customers from people that are too slow to get back because
I
I'm
love
busy
it.
taking care of customers.
I love it.
So that's, you're just crazy, and not only that, you should make your employees use it too. Why should you pay extra to have them make typos and waste time like that? So
Yeah.
that's one. Another one is SpeakPipe, SpeakPipe. This is a voicemail for your website. So people can go to my website, click a button, talk into their computer. It sends me an email. It lets me know that somebody just left me a message. I can click it, leave them a voice message back right through the website.
Yeah.
And
Love it.
it's cheap. It's like the short keys is like $30. When I bought it, it was $20 one time.
Yeah.
And I saved all that trouble. So SpeakPipe is another one. Now, another one that's right on your computer, it's right in front of your nose. If you use a decent email program, you have what is called a signature file.
Yeah.
That's usually people just use it to put in their name and address
Yep.
and website and all that. Well, if you have unlimited signature files, you can, like, I have like 400 of them on Outlook, and they have a lot of the same answers that are on the other program, the short keys. And so I can just go insert signature, pick the one I want, boom, hit it in there, and then I can customize it if I want, hit send, done. All right, took care of that person.
And I
They
use
said,
Google, and I am like you. We have just a ton of different signatures, and put in power signatures and all your PSs and your call to actions and all these different things. Absolutely. So I
yeah.
mean, a big user of those for sure.
Now, the if you put a bunch of guys like me that have been around a long time and ask them what are some of the most powerful tools ever invented for online marketing, the sequential autoresponder would be up at the top of the list. Right as I'm talking to you, I have almost 500 sequences of autoresponders taking care of customers when they buy something, following up, upselling automatically after the sale, and giving them customer service. In fact, I used them to get out of trouble with you Canadians. Because before 9/11, I'd send a big 11-pound box of tapes and stuff to
Yeah.
Canada and it would get right through. As soon as 9/11 hit, then they started holding it up in customs. And then
Right.
all you wonderfully nice Canadians were cussing me out in French and English because they thought I stole their money because it got held up for a couple of weeks. So I
Yeah.
put in the autoresponder as soon as they bought it. Hey, because of the security concerns, it may be caught in your
Yeah.
customs for a couple of weeks, but they always get through. Don't worry about it. Here's some extra tips and call me if you want some consultation in the meantime.
Yeah. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
automatic. So then another thing, I have 4 monitors in my office. If you just go to 2 monitors, it will change your entire life because you're
Absolutely.
not going up and down with browser windows all the time. So that's another one. And then here's Google Alerts. Um, I have one of my students is an expert on active shooters. Unfortunately, there's loads of them around.
Mm.
And so I told him, you put all that active shooter stuff in a Google alert. As soon as something happens in the news, he gets an email and then he calls all the media in that city and offers himself as an expert. In the first month, he did like 90 interviews
Incredible.
because of Google Alerts. So there's
Yeah.
just some of the stuff. I'm going to give him an ebook later if you want that has
Yeah.
way more, a lot of cell phone automation and all that stuff.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Please, we'll share that and put it in the show notes as well, Tom.
Great.
Yeah, that's great. One of the other things that we were going to chat a little bit about today was why do you avoid combining systems from different companies whenever possible? I mean, we've just talked about, and I use a lot of the systems that you're talking about too within mine because I talk a lot about process and different, systems and automations as well. But why is it that you're always suggesting or often suggesting around this idea of combining systems can be difficult?
Well, a lot of things I just mentioned are little utilities
Yeah.
that you use them, use them, use them. Your whole business is not predicated on them.
Yeah.
But I started in 1994 when the commercial internet started, and we had a shopping cart. And if it took the order correctly, we'd have a big office party, all
Yeah.
right, because it was just wild west back then. And and then I decided, right about that time, affiliates software was coming of age. Amazon kind of was a big push behind that,
Sure.
but so I paid. Well, first of all, the shopping cart was $2,000, barely would work. The affiliate module with another company was $1,100. This is in the
Yeah.
mid '90s.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when it never worked, each of the geeks on both sides would blame the other ones. So it's
Lived
when you can
that.
get an integrated system, and I'm not in favor of always having all your eggs in one basket
Yeah.
because if that goes down, you disappear off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
But for stuff like that, that's really intricate, that has to work together,
Mm.
try not to build the 10 different things because all the geeks are going to get their egos up. I don't know if you're a geek or not, but
I'm
I
not.
call them propeller heads and geek techno geeks, and they're going to blame each other, and then you're going to be left holding the bag. So that's why I use what I call dull edge technology. I don't jump on any kind of bandwagon. I didn't get on Facebook till there was 1 billion users because I remember MySpace,
Yeah.
which was the end all of be all, and then off the face of the earth. So I sit back a little bit, let them get all the bugs out of it. We don't update our WordPress sites until the couple iterations because it's all full of bugs, and then they
Yeah.
get rid of them, and then I swoop in and make the money. So
We've personally lived that, Tom,
yeah,
having, each of the companies bantering back and forth. We own some retail stores and the same sort of thing, the website company was saying it was the point of sale problem, and the point of sale problem saying it's the website problem, and they're both saying that it's your system issues and your hardware issues and all these other things, and everybody's pass the blame, right? Pass the blame.
exactly.
So
You
yeah,
know,
definitely have lived those
it
frustrations.
cracks me up when I go see point of sale because it's abbreviated POS,
Right. Yeah.
which also stands for piece of, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, so,
Yeah. And for me, we've just gone through transition since COVID. Actually, when we were one of our closures in COVID, we just amalgamated those so that it would be easier, so that our point of sale system is actually our web store system too, and it's all hosted online, so that everything's done that way. And boy, has it simplified our lives,
well,
really, in
yeah,
just so many ways.
if you don't do that, especially some people that are starting out will say, "Oh, I'm going to do Mailchimp,"
Hmm.
and then they're going to get a shopping cart over here. Now you got two databases, and you're
Yeah.
going to send out duplicates all day long
Yeah.
because neither one can dedupe across to the other platform. So
Yeah.
it's best if possible to get it all together in one place. Now you can segment the lists in that one place, but not if they're on different companies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're running out of time, but I want to get one more point in here today, Tom, and that's one of the things we want to chat about was you have this outrageous way to recruit workers, and
Yeah.
we're a lot of chat out there about the Great Resignation, and one of the things that I deal with a lot of my coaching clients is that whole people portion, right, of their
Hmm.
business, and it's a big frustration. So why don't you give us a little guidance around that and your
Well,
thoughts around
I was thinking about. I think you Canadians are too nice for this method,
it?
because this is
Well, hit us.
you got to have the stomach for this. So
Yeah.
everybody that I hire has came off of Craigslist.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Why? Because it's the only place that would accept these really rotten ads that I write. And the first tip is you can't really age discriminate. So I don't want a 55-year-old MBA that can't even turn his computer on
Yeah.
to come and apply to work here, because I want the young, people that are tech savvy, because I'm so far over the hill I can't remember going up the hill. All right. So the headline of the ad says paid internship.
Yeah.
That's gold right there, folks.
Mhm.
Paid internship. You're only going to no older person that's not tech savvy is ever going to apply for an internship. I
Right.
get all the young tech savvy people. Then I suck them in by saying all the great things they'll learn from this internationally known guy and all this stuff. But then when I get to the bottom, I say, you know what? If you're a worthless slug and you don't care about the quality of your work, if I don't throw you out of here in 5 minutes, the good people that work here will.
Yeah.
And it scares off all the losers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Exactly.
I only get some of the people been here 10, 12 years. They say, I'll show him I'm a good worker. And
Yeah.
they've been here forever. So that's my off the wall. But you
Cre-
guess what? Monster.com is not going to take that ad. I
Well,
can
you know
tell you.
what? You're creating it up front as to what they can expect,
Hmm.
right? And
Exactly.
and then it happens. So what's wrong with that? I mean, I love this idea of attracting or repelling, and it's okay to repel the wrong people.
Well, what's wrong with it is it's too harsh for the sensibilities of today's,
Yeah, no, I get that.
people.
Yeah. But it's worked for you, right?
It worked for me. Still
Cool.
working.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you mentioned a little bit about your ebook, and why don't you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, Tom, and also where they can get this great ebook?
Yeah. So my podcast is called Screw the Commute, based on the fact I've never had a job
Nice.
and been in my own business 45 years formally. So it's this book is all the things I rattled off in the beginning of this. It goes into depth on how to do it, what to do, where to go, and way more than that. And you can pick up a copy at screwthecommute.com/automate free. So it's my automation ebook, but it's the free version. So screwthecommute.com/automate free. If you need to get a hold of me, great internet marketing training.com, or just Tom at screwthecommute.com.
Love it. Love it. Thanks so much for spending some time with me, Tom. And I'm looking forward to spending some time with you on your podcast in the near
Absolutely.
future,
Can't
too.
wait.
Right
Yeah,
on.
it's going to be soon.
Have a good one.
All right.